What's up, guys? Holding Alice with you here, bringing you Sword Art Online, the third season, first episode review. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing the name of it fully because it gets me tongue-tied and confused every time. I'm still not used to it yet, so forgive me on that. But and then forgive me also for this being late. I had to work a double shift on October 6th, which was a Saturday, and this premiered. So this is going to be put up October 7th on a Sunday, a day late, because again, I had to work a double that day. But yeah, let's get into this. First of all, I love the fact that this episode was 48 minutes and some seconds. It was around 50 minutes. I think it was 48, 46 seconds, something like that. I mean, minutes and some seconds. But the first half of the episode, it starts off weird because they're in a virtual game, and it's Kirito and one of our new main protagonists, the boy, blonde hair. I believe his name is, I always say Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh, or Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is his name, and Yu-Gi-Oh and Kirito are kids for some odd reason in this fantasy game, and they got regular common clothes on, and they have an axe, and they axe in a tree, and they doing this because supposedly this tree is like legendary, like it's supposed to be made of like iron, so it's extremely hard to cut down, and I guess he's trying to get some type of achievement for it. But they both get tired and exhausted, and they stop. Then they start to wrestle and tug over each other and play around, and it's kind of cute seeing Kirito like that. It's like they have like a brother relationship, which is kind of weird because it's like we have not been introduced to this character, so it starts off like this, and it's kind of like, what's going on? Time skip or something? But we understand later on why. And then we get the female protagonist, a new one. Her name is Alice, which I love her because she looks and acts like she looks like Alice Lost in Wonderland, but though her personality is kind of like a mix of Asuna and Shiro, so it's nice seeing that. But she gets there, she breaks it up, they start eating, and Kirito came up with this good idea of us trying to find a way to freeze food. So long story short, basically they had to go to this cave to get ice, because there's a dragon that's there that's in the ice of cave. So when they went, they found the dragon's corpse, but all the treasure was there, and you can tell Kirito stated that it was cut down because it was clean cut, some of his bones. So whoever did it most likely was a human with a sword. And they're discussing this and whatever, and they gather their ice. Problem is, when they're about to leave, they realize that there's more than one entrance, and they couldn't remember which entrance they came from to go back. So they picked a random one, Alice did, the one that she thought was right, and they followed it. Then they ended up going to a territory named the Dark Territory, which by their law in this game is forbidden for the characters to go to. And there was two knights fighting, a white knight and a dark knight. And when these guys are fighting, the white knight apparently won. He shut down the dragon and his rider. And the rider of the dark dragon was, he stretched out his hand like a lion witch to Alice and them. And Alice, for some odd reason, don't know why, she decided to walk up to go check on him. And Kirito screamed at her, and she paused and she tripped. And when she tripped, her fingers, or the only thing on her body, her fingers touched the dark side. Instant that happens, a computer thing showed up behind him like a warp. And through that warp gate we saw a head of a man who looked like Dr. Manhattan. If anyone read, DC Comics, he kind of looked like him, and he looked at her, he scanned her and said her barcode or whatever, and disappeared. The next day, this white knight that they saw fighting the Dark Knight, he came as one of the authorities, and because she broke that rule, she got basically chained up and taken away. And Kirito tried to fight off, but he got decimated quick. Because, he's just a commoner. He has no skills, no armor, no magic, or just magic in his word. He has nothing. And, Yu-Gi-Oh basically was freaking out for the whole thing, and he didn't really, out Kirito. He didn't help Kirito with the first plan when Kirito was supposed to attack, and he grabbed Alice and run. And neither did he was able to help Kirito get all of the adults off of him. He just there froze in shock because of what was going on. Then Kirito wakes up, and he wakes up in this weird lab, and it's him on one side, but on the other side of the table is another table, and it looks like a person is there, but there's a white blanket over this person. So I'm not sure if that person is dead, maybe stuck in a coma in the game, I'm not sure what. But when Kirito woke up, he started crying. And then we shift over from this to, I'm not sure how many days or months or hours passed, but we shift over to GGO, you know, the game with the gun bullets. And you have Shino running away from two guys. And when it looks like they're about to shoot her dead, she smiles, and a truck just runs like over a mountain cliff and jumps in the way and takes the bullets and keep going at these two guys. And we find out it's Clyde in there, and of course the rest of the gang is in there. I can't remember all their names, but it's Clyde, Kirito, Asuna, the chick with the pink hair who's Asuna's friend, and the little girl with the dragon. They were all in there. And sadly the guy who owns the bar wasn't there, but you know, they fight in that group, and from these two people, Asuna and Kirito following them. But they ran back to two more teammates, and they couldn't beat them, but they were able to stall them out and make them run. So, and then we find out that these four people that they were after are part of an organization where Death Knight was part of. Because we saw a guy with long black hair put on a hoodie, and he looked at us, the screen, his eye turned red. So I'm assuming that he's the guy that, you know, is from the leader of the Laughing Coffins, which I forget his name. I think it was Death Knight, but I could be mistaken. But after that, you know, Shino explains the situation and what these guys are doing and why they're so annoying to the GGO game franchise and stuff like that. Because basically they pecan players and they're doing it just for fun. They're not doing it just to get skills or like steal. They're just doing it just as a massive slaughter, and they're doing it too much in a disrespectful way. So it's like she wants to take them down, but no luck this time. She didn't really have like a thought out plan. So, but I have a feeling these guys are going to be very important later on, and you see why. But Kirito, during this whole discussion, falls asleep. He nods out. I believe her name is Liz, the girl with the pink hair. Could be wrong, but he nods out. And he's on her, and she's freaking out like, "Hey, why are you leaning on me?" and stuff like that. But later on, everybody like is saying goodbye and leaving and logging out the game, and Kirito's just there standing there, drooling because he's super tired. And then we cut off to the main part of the episode, where Asuna gets invited to a cafe to talk with Shiro, or Sino. I mean, I always forget to pronounce her name wrong, but you know, the girl with the black hair and the glasses who was afraid of guns. She invited her out for coffee in the shop they always go to, Agiri, or Agility, something like that. Forgive me, I'm bad with names, so it's like I can't really remember them all unless I have my notes in front of me, and really don't know where my notes are at right now. But basically they're there, and before Asuna get there, Kirito was invited, so he gets there first, and she tells him something weird, which I noticed as well, that Kirito lost a lot of weight. And if you look at his avatar when he woke, and not his avatar, but when you look when he woke up from that dream machine thing, he did look a lot skinnier. So, you know, she brings this up, and they started talking, and he tells her he's very tired because of his new job, stuff like that. Then Asuna comes in, and then she says it's the same thing. And then we get to this explanation from Kirito. It's a very long explanation, so I'm going to like break it down as much as possible. But basically, he's working for the cops, as we already know. And the ones that are hunting out, you know, the last members of the Death Knight squad. But I think there's more, Laughing Coffin, I'm sorry. But basically in this job, he's testing out a new game where it takes your soul and puts it into the game, and you live like another life. Kind of like the memory thing from the movie, which the movie's canon if we don't know. But so the online movie is canon. But the thing is, what makes this system unique is that it doesn't damage your brain like that machine does every time you use it. And what makes it even more unique is that it takes a piece of like the brain cells. Like, this is like, how can I put it? Basically, it takes a part of your brain that it uses that for the game, but when you get it back, you can't remember nothing. So every time Kirito stops playing this game and he wakes up, he cannot remember nothing. His body remembers though, because he cries and he trembles, but mentally, no matter how hard he thinks, it's like when you know you're forgetting something but you can't remember what it is. He kind of wakes up with that kind of emotion. So, but he explains that to them and stuff like that, and Asuna and them and Shino is like super worried about him because he's losing a lot of weight, and like you can just tell. But after that, they say goodbye to Shino and she leaves, and then Asuna and Kirito walk home, and he has this discussion saying he has a job offer in America, which she already knew about, and he wants to take it, but he wants Asuna to go with him. Of course, Asuna smiled, blushed, she was happy. She said yeah, and they continue walking home, and this is where we get to the end, which got me upset, like kind of confused, and like sad and happy. Was like, don't know how to really feel about it. As you see in the thumbnail, Kirito gets attacked by one of the guys from the Laughing Coffin game, the one who had, I believe he used a small like dagger that was curved and it was poisoned. Well, Kirito fought him, and he had one of those little drug machines that Shino got stabbed with, that if your heart rate accelerates too much, it can like technically make it faster and blow it up. So you have to stay nice and calm until you get like an antidote for it. That special drug that they were using to kill people. Well, in GGO, the second season, first half of the second season. So basically, Kirito got like hurt with that because the guy went in and Kirito took his umbrella, like the pointy part of it, and he stabbed it into his knee and his thigh, and he like twisted it. So basically, that guy is not gonna walk for like a good while, probably never walk again with that kind of an injury. But in exchange, Kirito got stabbed in the shoulder blade. Now, it was stated earlier that Kirito has an implant in his shoulder blades for working in that machine place. So maybe when the guy stabbed him, maybe he hit the machine. So maybe Kirito is down, and they just making us, believe that he got really, punctured by that poison, but it really didn't get to penetrate him. I mean, they could always play it off like that just to trick us. Or maybe we may have a moment where like they have to take Kirito's body and put it in that machine so his brain can stay over there, where his body stays in the real world and they fixing it. Maybe something like that would happen, like with the second half of I think it was GGO, with the chick who had AIDS and her body was in the machine, but her mind was always stuck in the virtual world. Maybe something like that might happen to Kirito. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is supposed to be a 25 episode or 50 episode series, something like that. It's 2 cours, so it's gonna be like 50, maybe. I don't remember, but that's basically what is the ending of it. Again, I don't know how I would feel if Kirito gets forced to stay stuck in that world. I mean, it's nice because we get to expand on it more, and it does seem pretty interesting. And I like the characters Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh! But at the same time, it's like all the characters we know and love from the first 2 seasons we barely get to see. And that something happens that they all get invited to join this Tesla machinery, but again, it's just so much stuff, and it's like, wow. But yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below what you saw about this episode and what you liked and hated. Tell me what you're expecting to see. Tell me what you think about Kirito. Did he really get hit? Or is he faking it? Or maybe he just got grazed? I mean, we don't really know if he got injected completely, so We don't know if that's the shoulder where he got that implant, so maybe that might react to it, and we don't know. But again, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. Share with your family and friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.